welcome to a very special Fender Play Live. I'm your host, Noah Harmon, and today we are celebrating the songwriting, of none other than George Harrison. We're going to be diving in deep into some of his most iconic tunes, covering the gear, the tone, the techniques, and more. Plus, we're going to give away a brand new Stratocaster and a special gear giveaway. Keep watching the show, and we'll tell you all about how you can enter to win the guitar. So make sure to stay tuned, and let's get right to it. To help me out, please welcome my guest, the one and only Jimmy Vivino.
Only one, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, everybody probably, well, some people know me from 26 years on TV.
26 short years.
The only,
on
you know,
TV.
I'm just a blues guy with a gig. You know, I'm still working over there, you know, writing music and stuff. But, you know, I have a band, the Fab Four, and we play Beatle music, and you know, I mean, we're playing this,
Extensively
actually.
Beatles music.
Well, we play it just as musicians, not as, you know, we're not up there dressed up or doing accents or any stuff like that.
Gimmick-free.
It's not a wax fruit band, though. but we are playing out in Northridge this week, you know, on the 5th at UPAC there and at the university. What is it? I forget what it is anyway.
CSUN.
Yeah, CSUN.
CSUN.
We're going to be out there playing all of Abbey Road, and that brings us around to George Harrison.
Yes.
Who probably, arguably, or not at all, wrote the best songs on that album, I think. You know, he got his first lead track ever too on the side.
Yeah, and it was
Something and Here Comes the Sun.
just the sort of most, you know, like I grew up with it. I'm sure you grew up with, like, to be this far into it, to be 50 years at Abbey Road,
man. Yeah.
and we still are listening to those
And
songs,
discovering things, which we'll get to.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
We're discovering some stuff too. Well, we're playing Wah Wah.
We're playing
which
Wah
is
Wah.
You know, from
All Things Must Pass.
Yeah,
George's
and
first solo.
and a lot of those songs were already ready to go, and just sort of, you know, never made the cut.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable when you listen to them that they, and good for George too, because then he had like the greatest, I think the greatest solo album of all of their solo albums.
Yeah, and
some people will say they will argue about that, and I'll be getting bad letters from people. But for my taste, the combination of George and Phil Spector, because I was a big Phil Spector fan from the Ronettes and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, of
that
course.
Wall of Sound. The combination was it was something special. It started a whole new thing too, because with Bangladesh, all of a sudden George realizes I can play with other people. And then we have the first super
lots of
group.
other people.
The first like super group
the
on stage.
Clapton is on. Clapton is on it.
Yeah, and it's you know, it's all in that fertile period of Mad Dogs and Englishmen and Delaney and Bonnie and Friends and Eric and you know, Eric being part of Delaney and Bonnie, bringing George in, and then Bangladesh. It was like amazing to bring Bob Dylan out was amazing.
And just how close it was to the you know, the last record of George's old band before he started his new band.
And the fact that they put all those people on stage made that. Now, I'm playing in an open E on this today.
Yeah,
which is George's art. You know.
Real quick, can we talk about open E is?
Yeah, open E is just like playing an E chord and tuning the guitar to that. So E, B, G sharp, E, B, E.
Perfect. Beautiful.
So every time, the nice thing about open E is every time you chord, you know, you play a chord on the slide, it's right where right where it would be. That's an E, you know, that's an A, that's a B, that's an A, that's a G.
Yeah, perfect.
T is there. And George also, there's something about his slide playing. It doesn't come out of the Delta. You know?
Yes.
It comes out of the ashram. You know, it's just right out of India.
George is Indian.
It's from the Ganges. It's not from not Mississippi at all. So you know that. It's always within that 6 and 9. It's melodic, and also, as usual with George, it's like an extension of his voice.
Well, and we were talking earlier, on top of the beautiful, very melodic slide playing, what we call the magic chord. We got the magic chord coming in, the wah-wah chord.
And then the flat 5. Yeah, it's a train. Yeah, and then it just resolves so nicely, man. No mistake there, just a choice.
Yeah,
and
beautiful songwriting.
And basically, I mean, I guess people can go to the lesson online to see
Fender
what the
Play
chords
app.
are.
You can check out all of this. Aside from the songs we're going to cover today, there's actually 9 George Harrison songs on the Fender Play app right now.
And an amazing thing too about this is because I think Slide, like an Otis Redding song, where you have so many major chords that normally would be a minor chord in a progression, but like E, and it's G sharp major and F sharp major. You know, that's that. And then George.
And we're hanging out in a bit, so why don't we
but
stand
George
F sharp?
knowing, and then on Slide knowing that the F sharp minor, it's really just is an A. So you put A to B. It's the same quality as an A.
Then the money.
Yeah, and that's where the flat 5 or diminished sound that George has introduced into really into rock music. I don't know where it really appears before. George started maybe back with Old Brown Shoe. We first really hear it.
Yeah.
But
definitely not a common.
Not a common thing to go to, and he had a real vast knowledge of chords.
Yes.
I mean, I still watch him, and he marvel at some of the some of the positions that he plays in, and because George was the real chord guitar knowledge cat, man. He knew all the chords. He could play jazz chords and played a lot of rockabilly. Most guitar players back then in England were getting, Jimmy, they were getting like Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf records and blues records. But George seemed to had gotten a hold of all of these Chet Atkins records and Buck Owens with Don Rich.
Yeah, of course, covering Buck Owens later.
And Carl Perkins. And he had a rockabilly thing, and it was always different. He was always playing different, but then when he found his voice on the Slide, really not until 1970.
Until his solo record. I learned that.
After going out with Delaney and Bonnie and hanging out with these Southern. But then again, they wouldn't play the things he took the knowledge of an open tuning and still didn't say, I'm going to copy blues. He found his own voice in it. And that's, to me, the best part about his playing. It got better and better and better. And he really didn't find his voice till he found the slide guitar.
Yeah.
So it's never too late, because he must have been at least 25 by then. No, but seriously, you can find it. And with slide, it's really interesting. You get an open tuning, you'll find a lot of stuff.
Can we dig into the other slide part in
the
bridge section?
Yeah, it became a horn part.
But it's on the demo.
On his demo though, he's playing it with an droning. He's like he's droning it. Yeah, but he found it, and then they moved it over the horns. But it's really great on the record of the demo. We can hear the demos of everything now, and you really say, oh, well, that part was part of the song.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, the horn players came in and just played that. So George is always arranging it in his head.
Yeah, it's something that doesn't seem happenstance.
No, it's not. It's definitely a big part of the song because it's a melodic line again.
Yeah, beautiful melodic line. So Jimmy is, as everyone can tell, the expert on all things George Harrison.
Well, not everything, but...
So before we jump in too much more, we got some trivia for you right now. Answer correctly, you get a shout out from Jimmy Vivino. And Jimmy, what is our trivia question for today?
Well, the trivia question is, who gave George Harrison the original Rosewood Telecaster that Fender made for him in 1969? He gave it away to somebody. Who would that be?
Okay, we got to find this out, which is a perfect segue as we went over wah-wah, slide guitar, talked about a couple of the different riffs, all of which you can check out on the Fender Play app. Check it out. The guitar in question is one of the most legendary
Should we pull it
guitars.
out?
Yeah, we should pull this up.
Here, I'll
This is
trip with you now.
affectionately known as the Rosewood Telecaster.
Yeah.
But before we take a look at it in person, we're going to check out this quick video of how it came to be.
This guitar is arguably the most iconic Telecaster in Fender history. It was used during the Let It Be recording sessions and the final Beatles performance on the rooftop. So we spec out the guitar, take it all apart, as we do with these projects, and we measure everything to find out all the little things that make it tick and to kind of set aside all the rumors and hearsay about what the guitar used to be and what it was and how it was made. And so I actually had it there to answer all those questions that were there. The challenge is to find the wood that looks like the original wood, and that's a huge challenge. We ordered enough for 300 guitars just so that we could sort the material to find all the pieces that we need. It's actually a 4-piece rosewood body with a maple seam that holds the sandwich together. And then it's a 2-piece late 60s style neck and fingerboard with a round lamb. And it's all 68 specs on this guitar, as it was when it was made. I asked Abby if she would come out of retirement and spin me some pickups for this project only. So they'll all be hand-signed and dated by Abby. It's in the details. That's where we really excel in the custom shop, is just dissecting everything and making every detail perfect. The whole project has been based on making the guitar look and feel, play and sound how it would have the day that George got it. And so for me, it's like a great deal of pride to be able to be a part of this project. That's what everyone wants. Everyone wants the George Tele. And this is it.
All right, apparently we have a winner.
Kevin Ream.
Kevin Ream.
Shout out.
What was the answer?
The answer, of course, is Delaney Bramlett.
Bonnie and Delaney?
Yeah, from Delaney and Bonnie. And Kevin, you just get, what you win is the affirmation that you already knew you were very hip. Now you're the hippest guy on the block, without a doubt. George was in a down period after his band broke up. And he got a call from Eric Clapton. You want to come out on the road with Delaney and Bonnie, and with me? I'm going to go out with them and just, these guys were sort of going to slum in this big, giant, beautiful band, man, that had Jim Gordon. It had what would become Derek and the Dominoes. So he said, yeah. So the band, I think the bus pulls up. They're ready to pick George up at his house. And Eric knocks on the door. He says, before you come on the tour, you got to give Delaney a gift. And George is like, really? If you're a Beatle or Eric Clapton, and somebody's not impressed, and they're like, you got to give me something. You got to give me a tribute.
It's the guitar from their final. What would be their final performance?
Takes
too,
this
on the
guitar.
rooftop.
These guys are from a different. They would play any guitar they had forever. It wasn't like I gotta get this or that. And George gave this guitar, not this one, but the original Phil Kubicki made guitar for him, that rooftop guitar.
Yeah.
He gave it to Delaney Bramlett in tribute, and then went out on the road, and in turn learned sit down, play some real slide from Delaney and some other people out there that were in that band. you know, they all became friends. Half of those guys end up on the Bangladesh tour. And,
Just
it was a wonderful time. It was a quick time. Everybody was getting, you know, shedding their bands and joining up forces with other bands in America and in England.
Yeah,
And,
it's such an amazing time.
and the band had a lot to do
so
with
legendary.
that. Yeah. And, you know, the fact that the band came around with Bob Dylan, everybody was like, you know,
That's amazing.
let's go play American music.
Well, can we hear
Well,
that
we
thing
have
in
this.
action?
Yeah, we can use it.
Yeah.
And this is a beauty.
So this is another. If you don't know this song, I don't know where you've been for the past 50 years. This is something. We'll talk a bit about this, but yeah, let's slow it down and let's hear.
I
this
don't
a
know
little bit.
are the words around? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's just every lick, every riff is beautiful on this. 3, 4. Something in the way she moves attracts me like no other lover. Something in the way she woos me. I don't want to leave her now. You know I believe in her. It's beautiful. Let's play the solo.
Amazing. Let's play the solo.
Yeah. There's something in that. There was something in there that we wanted to point out. This beautiful. Let's see. Yeah.
Talking earlier, I figured it was guitar
Yeah.
riff 101, just the
Yeah.
chromatic.
Yeah. No, it's a C
No, it is
sharp
not. It's a C sharp.
off a G chord. Da, 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 da.
Amazing.
And sometimes you hear things, and then finally you go back 50 years later and go, oh, it's that.
Yeah,
Well,
and-
it's genius.
And go back and listen to. It's like one of
Yeah.
those things that you can't unhear
It's
after you hear it.
Probably, undoubtedly, the best, solo ever on a pop record. And someone will argue that something else is, but I don't care. To me, it is. No, to me it is, and because it's an extension of the vocal, of the singing, and another thing.
And those bends and the.
Yeah. George had the first finger bend, and the pre-bend, don't. It moans in a different way too.
Yeah.
You can, and I'm sure everybody has a different place they play it, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's a guitar. It has 10 places for each note. You can play it wherever you like. You can play it. I know guys. My friend Doyle Bramwell plays it upside down and backwards, and he's one of the best guitar players in the world. People learn, and Jeff Healey played it like this. And he couldn't see, but he could hear. And there's a guy on the. I'm sure that I know there's a guy on the internet that plays with his feet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So humans can do anything, as long as nobody says that's not the way it goes. Well, it goes however you want it to.
And if
but
they
I
say
know
that's not the way it goes.
I know that's right now. So yeah, something beautiful.
Yeah, amazing. Covered by everybody from. No, I was thinking of another song, but I mean, it's
Something is Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra did.
Frank Sinatra covered.
Frank Sinatra covered it, yes, and also James Brown covered it.
James Brown covered something.
And James Brown covered it, and I know the engineer who recorded the tape, and he said, "Get me the music to that song," and he had it.
To that song,
something, and he just doesn't. He's singing the verse over the bridge, but he's making it James Brown,
Yeah.
Something in the way she moves over the bridge. I don't know You know,
Oh, and then go straight to the I don't know part.
Just, you know, I mean, he made it his own. He found a
amazing.
way. But everybody recognized it as one of the greatest songs. And of course,
And greatest guitar solo.
yeah, and George too. To me, he was in company that was a tough competition, and to come up with the two best songs on the album, I think that's pretty. That's some sort of an affirmation that I can move on now and play wah wah.
I have
done it now. Yeah.
We have more amazing George Harrison songs to look at. But before we do, I have a very special announcement. Every week, we give away gear to a lucky Fender Plus subscriber. But this week, we are also giving away this very 50s Vintera Stratocaster to a lucky viewer. It is brand new. It has only been played here on this show. You don't even have to be a subscriber to win. Though, if you do subscribe, you can learn all of these songs on Fender Play. So just go ahead and sign up right now, and I'll tell you how you can win in a moment. But first, Jimmy, can you give us a little?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, because that guitar, boy, this guitar looks exactly like the guitar that George played on the Imagine sessions. If you watch that Imagine, the Lennon documentary, Imagine,
He's playing a lot of
George is
slide
playing
on it.
slide on a guitar. It was a maple neck 50 Strat with this color blue, and it was. And I always say, of course, every time I see him playing one, when did he get that one? I never saw that one. How come I didn't see that one? You know. Oh, let's get the Savoy Truffle sound.
Oh, nice.
You really like all treble. Yeah. That's. Yeah. Yeah.
Savoy Truffle also on the Fender Play app, I believe.
Oh yeah.
And definitely a Strat.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah.
And
Without
just
no doubt about
that
it.
pumping tone, that
Yeah, and that last verse. It's like the Strokes before they were even
It was
born.
before.
Yeah. It's punky. It's
It
great.
is funky, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, they could write about anything. A box of chocolates. Let's write a song.
Yeah.
You know, and it's really great.
Yeah, and the Savoy, there's no way they ever made it to the Savoy.
I don't
New
know.
York
There was
Club
maybe
from the
there was
jazz
the
era.
sampler. I don't know. There was a Savoy Truffle candy or something that
Yeah.
Eric Clapton liked to eat. You know, life is pretty good when you're writing about a box of chocolates.
Yeah, but to make it that is like,
yeah.
if we could all be so lucky as to make our snacks
And
a legendary
and it's
song.
also got a great. The whole song has this great distorted. They push the horns through distortion.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, like Good Morning again.
Yep.
But this is an even better. This horn line is incredible. I don't
Yeah.
know. I wish I knew the evolution of that song. There's so much available to us now. I just want to know where that horn chart came.
Yeah, exactly.
Man,
Who's
probably
responsible?
George just telling them what to play and they
Who's
played it,
responsible?
yeah.
So you can win this, like literally this guitar. To
Yeah.
win this very guitar, all you have to do is follow Fender Play on Instagram, post an Instagram story on your favorite piece of gear. Any piece of gear is fine. It doesn't have to be Fender. Tag Fender Play on it, of course. Your story can be about anything, about your favorite guitar, bass. Just tell us why it's your favorite. You have until 5:30 Pacific, West Coast time tomorrow. Get your story entered and get into this giveaway. The winner will be announced right here on Fender Play, live next week on October 9th. So make sure to tune in. Check the link in the comments for more info, and this guitar could be yours. Back to George.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Next up, let's take a look at a really fantastic George Harrison song that you can also learn on Fender Play. It is the third, what did we decide, third track
I thought
on
maybe the third track.
Third track
yes,
on
we got the notification. Yes, it's
the
true.
absolutely legendary record, All Things Must Pass.
Yeah.
Recorded at his home studio. We've been talking a lot about this. Wah Wah was, I believe, the third track. No, My Sweet Lord is the second track. Everybody's probably commenting right now. I believe My Sweet Lord is second, and then Wah Wah is third, or do we have that backwards? We're gonna. Somebody's getting me right now.
This is crucial, man, because the internet's gonna blow up.
I know. We're gonna.
It's
Okay, good.
Oh,
Thanks to
second?
whoever that
Okay.
was. So yeah, this is My Sweet Lord.
another thing too is, they didn't have 5-position switches. And George
stretch.
pretty much played in the middle, on the middle pickup, which is not the most desirable pickup.
No.
But when you're playing slide, you don't want to get, if you want to get up real high, you don't want to use that first pickup. You know?
Yeah,
And
being right on top.
so this
of
is good. This is a little too brittle, but mostly use that. And a lot of times through a Fender Champ. That was it. You know, through a Fender Champ.
Yeah, what everybody
Yeah.
considered a beginner's
Yeah,
amplifier.
yeah. By then
back
it was
in the
all
day.
Fenders. By '68, it was all Fenders, mostly deluxes and twins and
Beautiful.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Let's hear a little My Sweet Lord.
Yeah.
Shall we?
I'm gonna play the first slide part.
Got it.
All right, let's go. And the second one is yeah, oh yeah, oh you want one? I'll play it. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
3. It's poetry. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
Plays a lot
amazing.
cleaner than I did, but it's okay.
Double stacked guitars on
Yeah.
that. There's
Oh, there's
slide.
a 12 string,
12 string.
6-string acoustic. There's then that beautiful auto harp that comes
harp
in.
that you were saying.
It just
Yeah.
sparkles through the whole thing.
I always assumed it was just the 12 string.
No,
sound.
it's you can hear it. Just,
Yeah.
You can hear the pick on the auto harp just bring
Stringing
right
down
when
it.
when it hits that what is that? Yeah, the E.
E right
yeah,
there.
yeah, that's where the auto harp comes in. and then there's a harmonium that comes
Harmonium
in
in there. Tons of voices.
Yeah, and then when the band kicks in, it's just beautiful. you know?
Ringo on drums, I think, right?
Is it Keltner or Ringo?
Is Keltner or Ringo?
Somebody will let us know.
Somebody will let us
that
know.
we're wrong.
They don't know what this is. This is the
I think it's
Fender
Keltner,
Villager.
yeah.
This is the Fender Villager 12 string. So
I
that one
remember
I know for sure.
I know that a Fender Villager was I remember when they came out, they had the greatest ads for those, man. They always had like California girls standing next to a surfboard holding one of these guitars. and a guy from New York was like, I gotta have that guitar.
I gotta get that guitar.
That's us. That's guitar players. We don't see the surfboard, the ocean, the girl. We see the guitar.
And then you get it, and
And Fender knew that.
you get it,
right
and you're like,
away.
what are these extra strings on here?
Yeah. They use the 12 string a lot, though, you know, in rhythm, you know.
George does it.
Yeah, George all the
does
time.
it
He
a
had that
ton.
weird 12 string.
Ye-
That big giant body, like something.
Yeah. I mean, I love these for the funny hockey stick neck and everything. Like
Yeah, but they also they compress nice, so you know you hit
And
them
it
hard.
has, I mean, and this has a, maybe we can talk a little, maybe this would be a great segue to talk a bit about the George's Indian influence.
Oh, yeah.
I've always felt like this, you know, it has
Yeah,
a
yeah.
little bit of a, you know, sitar-y sort
Well,
of
we
Eastern
have a
sound.
we happen to have a sitar back here.
You've got this sort of drony sound, but it's
Yeah.
nothing like the real thing right here.
Well,
Actual sitar.
God help us if it's way out of tune by now. But, take the trouble off. We're sticking it directly in. That's right, folks. Right into an amp. There he is. Got to have a long arm to tune this.
Yeah. Not for the faint of heart.
Now this is a real like upside down tuning. It's E is like sitar usually is in C or C sharp, maybe as low as B.
Yeah.
So now I have turned this inside out and made it E. Just for the purpose of demonstrating this.
Let's try. You want to go right on the riff, or?
Yeah. You see how Indian it is.
All right. 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. So yeah, it does. It's just very much George's slide style was certainly more Indian
Unbelievable.
than Mississippi, for sure.
Yeah.
But this is one of 3 that I own. This is the worst one, actually. It's the one I keep at home because the neck is bowed. But I do have a Ricky Rhyme, which is just what George had, you know, when, and that's...
That he brought over from India.
Yeah. I keep those I keep the other 2 with the Fab Folk.
That's
We use them.
amazing.
But this is, it was a student model. And he learned really quick. I mean, it's not an easy thing. He learned correctly, too, from Ravi, you know.
Imagine. Wow.
But they
Jimmy,
call
thank
me
you for that one, man.
Ravioli. Enough of that.
We have 2 songs left to check out today's episode, but remember there are 4 additional George Harrison songs available on the Fender Play app for you to learn. That's 9 songs total, and it's free to start. These are great songs for learning guitar. They're accessible for beginners, yet complex enough to challenge players of all levels. I don't think we can stress that enough. Like, you hear a song a million times and you just, like, there's something new to learn. Like, the more you dig into these, the better you will feel. Right now, let's check out another one. I don't know.
This will be capoed up on the 7th fret, which George loved. I won't play any more than that, but George liked that. In fact, even on Run of the Mill. But he was way better than I am. We all know that. Anyway, so this is the most downloaded,
Streamed as well.
downloaded and streamed Beatles song. Okay, out of every song those 4 guys put out, all right?
Yeah, this is the one.
The kids song is the best one, okay? Most popular, at least. So you know, they pretty simple shape. Everybody knows this.
I'll follow you.
1, 2, 3, 4. Here comes the sun. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun. I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. I just ended it. No, I mean,
Which would have been a cool spot.
I don't want to. I just, you know, I don't play this one, by the way. I play strings on this. But it is beautiful, and everybody can play it. The chord shapes are pretty simple.
Super simple.
Even if you don't play the lead, just G. It's been a G lonely winter. Little darling, it seems like yes, it's been here. Here comes the sun, to A7. It's alright. You can learn that.
Yeah, you can learn that.
That's yeah.
Beautiful. That, I mean,
Yeah,
you're talking
I
about
mean,
the
that's
Indian
that alone.
influence, like that rhythmic cycle.
It also appears that sort of, you know, that thing that is solely George's appears. That's a total
yeah.
George. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, you know, as is that diminished
Yes.
run, you know, is George. Again, inserting that into pop music, like, whoa, that's cool, you know.
I mean, it must have been, we take for granted so much of that stuff, but it was like,
Well, you know, it was
it
actually.
was like so daring at the time. I mean, if you were like playing something that people would think
Yeah.
was out of tune or the wrong chord or something like that, but as a musical device, it really like propels the song
Well,
forward.
when we hear all of these, now we get a lot of extra information. The 50 Years of Abbey Road is out again, and then we'll
Yes.
hear demos, or we hear the Escher demo, the demos from the White Album. They're obviously not ready to go until the
Until
whole
they're ready to
unit
go,
comes
yeah.
together. Until the whole unit comes together, and look, it wasn't like there was a lot of work put into that stuff, man.
No, it's-
I mean, you know, we think, oh, they just get together and play, and it comes out magical.
yeah,
No,
it's
there's
good. Maybe they rehearsed a time or
there's
two.
a lot of bloodletting.
Maybe they ran through it before they hit record.
A couple of times, you know. They worked very hard at it, and you know, it was like a club. It was like a club that nobody could get into, you know. And it was amazing that, you know, Billy Preston got in, and George brought him in. So, you know,
Billy
and
Preston,
George brought Eric Clapton in too.
Billy Preston,
you know?
the keyboard player on the roof
Yeah.
of the final
Yeah,
performance.
yeah.
of George's old
Sometimes
band.
called the fifth guy, you know, in that band.
Yeah.
And then also appears this guy, that great turn in Bangladesh where he does "That's the Way God Planned It."
Oh yeah, and the big piano, the big
you know,
behind
and I
the
think
grand
that
piano.
George and Ringo played on some of his records.
Yeah.
And George produced some of his stuff, you know.
I think he played with. Didn't he play with Clapton too?
They played with everybody, you know, and Billy was great, man. But they really, and he was around for a long time, you know. Sly Stone had produced him when he was like a young organ player. Like
Oh yeah, he's American too.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
So not to
yeah,
forget.
yeah.
All right, we have one final George
Okay.
Harrison song that we got to cover. This song debuted on the White Album, 1968. It featured a young guitar player named Eric Clapton on guitar overdubs. It's an absolute classic. You definitely know this. It has many guitar parts, overdubbed, overlayered. So this is While My Guitar Gently Weeps
on a duo jet.
on
not?
the guitar.
Why not? It's the right shape.
got 6 strings.
I look at you all, see the love that's sleeping, while my guitar gently weaves. I look at the floor and I see it needs sweeping, while my guitar gently weaves. I don't know how. Nobody told you how to unfold your love. I don't know how someone controlled you. They bought and sold you. I look at the world and I notice it's turning, while my guitar gently weeps. With every mistake, we must surely be learning. Still, my guitar gently weeps. I think we'll stop there. Wow.
Jimmy
Yeah,
Vivino.
the duo jet.
A period correct.
A first ever. Yeah, this is beautiful, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a ripping. You sound amazing, man. This has
Well-
been an absolute treat to check out.
Really fun. It's the work goes on for all of us. You guys, the homework, right? The homework has to happen.
Oh yeah. All
Yeah,
these
we
kids
should
got to
talk
get.
about the homework a little bit because I got to go home and do some too. Obviously, if you watched, you'll know that I still know. I still have. Levon Helm used to go when we'd finish doing a song. He would go that close.
Like after the take.
After
in
the take,
studio,
like that close. It's not. Not right. Not quite there.
wearing his cowboy
A
boots.
lot of
playing
oh boy,
drums
yes,
and
just
everything.
but
Oh,
having
unbelievable.
knowing, not knowing when it's wrong, just knowing when it's right.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So homework.
this close.
Homework.
Yeah,
Are we at the homework point?
Let's do homework. After the
Yeah.
homework, we'll do the giveaway.
Yeah.
But you guys need to do the work too. So Jimmy, what do we got for homework for everybody?
Well, we got the simplified chords for "Here Comes the Sun," which we kind of showed you before, but capoed up at
up,
7 there.
open chords.
Yeah. So the D will sound like an A, and D, A7, G, E7, and then you can find your way around that little riff, those little riffs, and the bridge is just D, A, da da da, F, C, G, G, D.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me see. That's it. Yeah. And work on the solo from something. I mean, find it your own way. Just include that C sharp note.
Yeah, that's the.
That's if you get that right, you're
Make
almost
sure you get
there. Everybody finds a different spot, and somebody will say, "Oh, that's not." There is no one place that anything is played, and somebody will always have to say, "Oh, that's not where he played it." We don't know. We have no video of George playing it.
Yes.
We don't know if
No
it's a
one was in-
complete take. We don't know if there's a splice. We don't know. I know that you have to find your own way around your instrument, whatever's comfortable for you.
Yes.
Somebody might play it on a mandolin. Just fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yes.
There's no mistakes, only choices.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like beautifully put.
Yeah.
But C sharp on the
That C
descending
sharp,
chromatic
it's a
line
mistake
is
if you don't
definitely,
play that C sharp.
definitely what it is.
That is a mistake. And that's a beautiful choice too.
Earlier on, we told you about the Ventera Strat that you can win. That's for next week. But every week here on Fender Play Live, we give away a piece of gear to a Fender Play subscriber just for practicing your guitar. So we've given away guitars, amps, basses, ukuleles, all for getting better at guitar, doing your homework. To enter this week's giveaway, all you have to do is make sure you're a Fender Play subscriber, practice at least 3 times. That's 3 times. If you want to win, you get to choose from Strats, Tele Jazzmasters, P-Basses, Jazz Basses, Mustang Amps, and the winner is announced every single week right here on this show. This is a crazy good deal, if you ask me, like free guitars. Jimmy's in the running to win that Ventera Strat.
Yeah,
so
I
we got
want that
competition,
guitar,
man.
boy.
It is sweet. Jimmy, do you want to help us out with this week's winner? I believe
Yeah, we
one
have
so
this
far.
week's winner. This week's winner is Clay F. Congrats, Clay.
Not
Yeah.
bad. He's not winning that. He's not winning
Oh, not that one. Sorry.
Oh, no,
no,
sorry.
that's right. My bad.
Hope you're not
My bad.
watching, man.
Sorry, Clay F.
No, that's for next
That's
week,
next
right?
week. That's next week.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh yeah, that's what you and I are winning.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we love them. They're really.
They are.
great,
They're
yeah.
really fantastic guitars. One of the great things about this Fender Play app is we've been talking a lot about musicians who are now legendary, who were friends, back in the day, all hanging out together,
Yeah.
like joining each other's bands, starting a community.
When it was okay, finally. Because in the old days, it was
Exactly.
like, you can't play with other people. You're in this band.
You're in this band, and then they started out,
And George broke that down by bringing Eric Clapton and Billy Preston into a pretty big band.
pretty big- a pretty big group.
All of a sudden it got to be, we can do that and still be a band.
And the community expanded, and right now on the Fender Play app, there's about 14,000 members, and it's a totally judgment-free zone. You can put your questions up, you can get support, show off your new gear, of course. It's a pretty amazing thing for the internet. So this week, let's shout out some of the members who had particularly good posts that we'd like to share. We have Angel Delgado started playing Fender just 3 weeks ago. started the Fender Play app just 3 weeks ago and already learned the first riff to Welcome to Paradise by Green Day. 3 weeks, that's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
It's like, we also had Andy Green, had his first rehearsal with a band in 25 years. I assume he's 26 years old.
Yeah. And they're putting the band back
They're
together.
putting the band back together. And they already have an offer to play a gig.
Great. Do that. Oh, and my paisan, Salvador Forcini, shared a video of himself playing All My Loving, which is a very, that's a pretty difficult rhythm guitar part. Man.
That's not a mess around song.
That's some good triplets going.
Oh, yeah. Every week we add new songs and skills to the Fender Play app. So there's always something new to learn. Just check the Just Added tab and see what's new. This week, obviously, there are now 9 George Harrison songs to learn. In addition to the ones that we featured here today, we have the Savoy Truffle. Jimmy played a little bit of that lead for us. Excellent. Old Brown Shoe. For You Blue and I Mean Mine. They are absolutely fantastic songs. Get out there, go learn them right now. Thank you everybody for tuning in to tonight's show. We're ecstatic to do this. This is legendary music by an artist that we absolutely adore. And a huge thanks to George's family.
Thanks to the Harrisons,
The Harrisons are, Jimmy's known them for years.
Yeah, just
I've
great
been
people.
fortunate enough to play with,
Yeah.
and they are excellent people. And we couldn't be happier with this.
Zonshine, thank you, David.
Mr. Zonshine, happy birthday,
Happy
buddy.
birthday, David.
Happy birthday, buddy. Of course, Jimmy Vivino for being here.
Oh, man, and Noah, of course.
Thank you. I am but your humble servant, mate. Special thanks to Joe Carducci, Steve Stearns for the Gretsch guitar. This is fantastic.
Oh, yeah, man, this is something, huh?
Too cool. Ed McGee, all the viewers out there tuning in each week. Get out there and learn those songs. You guys got to keep practicing. We're going to check you guys out next time. Let's take them away, Jimmy.
Ready?